Shadow of the Haiku Killer. In the heart of a bustling American city, a mysterious killer known as the Haiku Killer had struck fear into the hearts of its residents. The city was shrouded in an eerie silence as the bodies of several victims were discovered, each murder accompanied by a cryptic haiku left at the crime scene. The police were at a loss, and the city plunged into a state of paranoia. Amidst the chaos, Rico, a former Army Ranger turned paranormal investigator, received a call from an old friend, Dr. Walter White, a seasoned police detective. Rico, known for his uncanny ability to sense the supernatural, was the city's last hope in solving this bizarre case. The Haiku Killer's enigmatic messages left everyone perplexed, and Rico's unique skills were desperately needed. Dr. White, a man of logic and reason, met Rico at the crime scene of the latest murder. The victim lay lifeless, surrounded by the haunting words of the killer's latest haiku. Rico carefully examined the scene, his sharp instincts alert to any paranormal presence. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and Rico sensed that something beyond the realm of the living was at play. As the investigation unfolded, Rico and Dr. White discovered that all the victims had a common thread. They were somehow connected to an abandoned psychiatric hospital on the outskirts of the city. Intrigued by this connection, they decided to delve into the hospital's dark history, hoping to unearth clues that would lead them to the Haiku Killer. The hospital, with its crumbling walls and broken windows, stood as a silent witness to decades of torment and suffering. Dr. White, armed with his knowledge of criminal psychology, and Rico, guided by his paranormal intuition, ventured into the abandoned halls. Whispers of the past echoed around them as they explored the eerie corridors, uncovering the twisted tales of the hospital's patients. As they delved deeper, the duo stumbled upon a forgotten experiment conducted by a deranged psychiatrist who believed he could unlock the secrets of the human mind through a series of psychological tests. The experiment went awry, leading to the tragic deaths of several patients. It became evident that the vengeful spirits of those who perished in the hospital were seeking justice, and the Haiku Killer was their vessel. Rico and Dr. White, now aware of the supernatural force behind the murders, faced a race against time to prevent more bloodshed. The haiku served as a gateway between the living and the dead, a means for the vengeful spirits to communicate their anguish. Each haiku's victim had a connection to the hospital. All had been either a staff member or relative of a staff member. The haikus were a poetic representation of the pain and suffering they endured. The duo realized that they needed to confront the spirits and put an end to the Haiku Killer's reign of terror. Armed with ancient rituals and modern investigative techniques, Rico and Dr. White conducted a seance within the haunted halls of the psychiatric hospital. The air grew thick with a spectral energy as the vengeful spirits materialized, their ethereal forms seeking redemption. Through the seance, Rico communicated with the tormented souls, unraveling the truth behind their tragic fates. The spirits, driven by a desire for closure, revealed the identity of the Haiku Killer, the twisted manifestation of the psychiatrist's guilt and the dark energy lingering in the hospital. In a climactic confrontation, Rico and Dr. White faced a malevolent force, battling not only the supernatural but also the guilt and despair that had festered for years. The Haiku Killer, a spectral entity fueled by tragedy, was finally laid to rest as the spirits found peace. With the mystery solved, the city slowly emerged from the grip of fear. Rico, haunted by the ghosts of the past, continued his paranormal investigations, while Dr. White returned to his role as a detective, forever changed by the otherworldly events he had witnessed. The tale of the Haiku Killer became a cautionary reminder of the consequences of unchecked ambition and the lingering echoes of tragedy.